Thank you for watching the Film Fix this week. I'm Jonathan Hickman, and I am joined by one of my oldest and dearest friends here in Noonan, Earlene Scott, who has, you have this amazing store where you sell, I mean, how many years have you been in the business selling books?
1976.
And at one time you were in a smaller location.
And at that time carried comic books, which you well remember.
Absolutely, yeah.
Don't carry those anymore, but 1976, so I've got an anniversary coming up soon.
It's kind of an institution here. Local book clubs come to your store.
True. And we carry all kind of books, lots of children's books with special order, and try to go with customer service as much as we can, and even deliver to the hospitals. If somebody pulls up in a car and is unable to get out and come in, we hand deliver to the car. So we offer all kind of services.
A very knowledgeable staff too. Miss Scott, you train your staff to know what your customers want.
True.
And I guess you've had a bit of a rush on something from Sweden recently.
Oh, yes, yes.
Of course, Film Fix viewers will know that one of the films that we reviewed earlier this year was The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Opening in limited release around the country is The Girl Who Played with Fire, which is the second book, and we have all three books here, the second book in the Millennium trilogy. These are books that I assume they were originally written in Swedish,
yes.
and now they've been translated into English, and they are, this was a #1 New York Times bestseller, The Girl Who Played with Fire. I had the pleasure of seeing both The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo and now The Girl Who Played with Fire, and both movies are really gripping.
And then the third book is out, which is on the New York Times bestseller.
Right.
It's #1.
And this is available here at Scott's Books, and this is The Girl Who Kicked the Hornet's Nest, also by Stieg Larsson's. And have you had a lot of people come in and ask for these books?
Yes, everybody. Word of mouth is spread around town. Everybody said these are great mysteries, and they come in, read the first one, then they want the other two. So they have been bestsellers for us as well as New York Times. So very good books.
And now, of course, Hollywood has decided to do a big budget adaptation of the Millennium trilogy. There was some talk that George Clooney was involved, talk that Brad Pitt might be involved, and now it looks like Daniel Craig is going to be the writer, Bloomquist or whatever that is in the books, and they've talked about Carey Mulligan, who was in that movie called An Education, and she may actually take on the role of the girl, who is Lisbeth Salander. Really neat series of books, certainly for the adult, wouldn't you say?
Yes, we highly recommend these.
The Girl Who Played with Fire is the continuation of the Millennium trilogy. These started as novels written by the late author and activist Stieg Larsson. In this book, it's more like a second or a bridge to the third movie. It's certainly a second movie, but it's a bridge to the third movie. We learn more about Lisbeth Salander and her relationship with her father, and how she came to be institutionalized, and how she's fighting in order to overcome that. The movie is not quite as big a narrative as the film that came before it, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, but die-hard fans will not be disappointed. It will certainly whet their appetite, and people who just like a good thriller will probably enjoy it too. Remember that this is going to be adapted by, it looks like, David Fincher, the American director responsible for Fight Club and the movie Seven, as well as Benjamin Button. No matter what, the third movie in the series from Sweden is bound to be the one that everyone has to see, and this second movie is a way of getting to the third movie. So I can't say that it's a bad film. I certainly enjoyed seeing the characters again, and I also enjoyed learning more about their background. The U.S. version will probably be more tame, so people who have a strong stomach would probably want to take in the Swedish versions first. The Girl Who Played with Fire is now in limited theatrical release, and The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo is available on DVD and Blu-ray. What other books are popular right now?
Oh, Charles Martin is from Jacksonville, Florida. He has a new one called Over the Mountain. I love Southern regional books, so we have a table set up for beach reading with a lot of Southern novels. Pat Conroy's new book, South Abroad, has just gone paperback, which is very good. And just this time of year, a lot of good beach reading. And the bestsellers, Nelson DeMille has a new one out, and of course Danielle still keeps books out all the time. She's always got a new one.
Very prolific writer.
Yes, and there's several new writers that people are trying for the summer. If they like the new writers, they'll come back and try to get something else by the same person, and we do special order and get the books in a couple of days.
One of the things that's great about Scott's books is that you can come to this store and actually meet some of the writers. You each month have several writers that come in, both regional, people here locally that write. My father's written a number of books. You did a book signing for me, which I was honored to have my first ever book signing for the Taster here. But, you know, is that something that people really get up and excited for? I mean,
we had Vince Dooley in about a month ago. He has a new gardening book out, and we had quite a few Georgia fans and Tech fans, which you know, they both came in, master gardeners, just to see the gardening book and to meet Vince. And
boy, he'd have a lot to say right now about his program.
He would not be too happy.
No, he wouldn't be.
But we have had Celestine Sibley when she was with the Atlanta Journal. Of course, Louis Grizzard's from here. And we always had Louis in, and his wife is getting ready to reissue some of Louis's books, which have been out of print. So we're looking forward to that. We haven't had the books to sell after he died because they went out of print. And
isn't it amazing how he has staying power? I mean, he's still they're still running some of his essays and columns in one of the local papers that I write for, 85 South, out and about. And it's amazing. I mean, he really has.
Very popular.
Miss Scott, it is wonderful to have you, and we're just honored to be able to shoot here in your store.
Well, we're glad to have you.
And people who want to pick up any one of these books or the many books that Miss Scott has recommended, or just come in and discover something new. Thanks for watching this episode of The Film Fix. As always, you can join us by going to our Facebook page at Daily Film Fix, or you can watch us on our blip.tv channel or our YouTube channel, Daily Film Fix, or you can go to our blog at dailyfilmfix.com, where you can feed your movie addiction.